You are listening to the Built to Grow podcast.
All right, welcome back to the Built to Grow podcast. I'm your host, Tim Lyons, in studio, joined as always by Randy Angston. What's up, man?
How we doing?
Always changing the pace.
I know. There's no consistency about any of that.
And I just do it on the fly.
I know, and it throws me off every single time.
It's how we do it. It's how we do it. We keep it interesting. So
keeping it fun.
One of our coaching clients, Justin, said, "I've got he said I have a great face for radio."
They said that's a great compliment.
My voice was soothing to his earlobes,
tickling those eardrums.
Yeah. Awesome. So great episode for everybody today. But before we jump into that, I want to let you know that this episode is brought to you by another Growth Summit sponsor, MyZone. MyZone's a heart rate tracking technology, another fitness tech piece that will go into your gym. It's up on the screens. It shows the heart rates. It shows in real time evidence of effort and calories, and as well as obviously heart rate. It's got tons of gamification tied to it. They just came out with a new, they're calling it the Switch. It's a wrist version of the heart rate monitor that's less intrusive and it's easier to wear. Ties to an app. It's a great tool, especially for those metabolic conditioning style training facilities or styles of training like your team training and boot camp stuff. It's a great tool. We've had them for, got to be getting close to 10 years now. We've been using MyZone. So if you're coming to the event, they have a special gift for everybody. I think, I'm not going to say
we won't go there.
I don't want to put them on the hook if it doesn't come through, but maybe a special gift on your table when you get to the Grow Summit. So check out MyZone. I think it's myzone.com. And if you're coming to the Grow Summit, be sure to chat with the boys over at the booth, and they'll be sure to show you exactly how to leverage that piece of technology in your gym.
Nice. Well, before we get into today's episode, I want to kind of talk about something that you mentioned there.
Yep.
You brought up Justin, and then you started talking about tech. I had a conversation with him yesterday about bringing tech in to their gym, and the benefits, right? So if you are going to bring tech into the gym, guys, make sure you make it part of your culture, make it part of the system, bring it into your programming, work it into your checkpoints. That data only does you any good if it works its way back into the business. And then obviously, show that. The clients want to see that stuff. Yep. So make that part of the program. And then that's how you see monetization of things like data or bringing things into the business.
Exactly. You don't, well, who was I saying? It was actually on the same with Teresa. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about, should we do this or should we do that as far as tracking the numbers? I'm like, well, only track them if you're going to use the data for something.
Yeah.
Don't waste your time.
I had the conversation with our other coaching clients about their onboarding process, about keeping things easy, right? They wanted 2 pages of medical information. I'm like, guys, how much of this works its way back into the information you're going to use?
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much medication, like 3 of the questions. And I said, let's start there. If they need more, we'll go deeper, but let's not have everybody go through 2 pages when 3 questions were all we needed.
Yep. And it goes into every element of your business. Don't just do busy work to do it. If you're going to actually use the information to make game time decisions, then absolutely, then do it. So great episode today, guys. This came from a conversation from our mastermind. And I felt like this is such a important thing to share with everybody, because this is typically where gym owners, when it comes to marketing, you get off track. And it's not your fault for a lot of reasons. One is because you just don't understand what's happening. And the other thing is, this is what you're presented with constantly from service providers or other digital marketers as the thing that gets you the result. And so let's talk about what we're really talking about here is strategies versus tactics. And we had an episode on this way back, but this is going to hit it in a different angle. So tactics is typically what gym owners are always looking for the silver bullet or the thing that's going to get them the result that they're looking for. They're always talking about tactics, but not necessarily the global strategy.
Sure.
So you had a pretty good definition for strategy versus tactic on the last show. What was that?
That's a great question. I don't remember offhand.
Okay.
Do you remember? Lead me there.
Okay. I don't remember exactly how you explained it.
It was almost like an encompassing, right? They supported each other. Man, I got to go back and listen to that one.
Yeah. You just came off of training. You're like, this is exactly. We understand it from like a bigger picture, but what I want to bring it down to a level to where everybody listening, gym owners, you're not digital marketers. Maybe you are, but you're not in the weeds every single day learning about persuasion and strategy and all these things. But so we'll give you examples, and then it'll probably make a lot more sense.
Yeah.
So, one strategy, we're going to go through probably 4 or 5 of these things here. One strategy that is pretty typical you hear about is you have to create urgency for somebody to buy something. If it's available all the time, chances are they might put it off till next week or next month or next year. You have to give people a reason to buy now. So when you have scarcity, what did I say? Scarcity or urgency?
You said urgency.
Okay, when you have urgency, these are things like limited time offers. These are like, end of the month kind of thing. Usually comes with a date, like urgency, get in now or else XYZ will happen.
I mean, you can think of some of the most basic advertisements, right? Like your grocery store, sale Wednesday to Wednesday. Urgency. It's telling you, hey, if you want these items, you need to buy them in this period of time to get this price.
Yeah.
Otherwise you're paying full price.
Exactly.
Simple as that.
But the point of this is the strategy is urgency.
Correct.
Let's get that straight out of the bat. So the strategy is you're going to use urgency in your marketing or your sales process. Some of the tactics are like a countdown timer on your page. Right? If you have a funnel or your website and you have a countdown timer, the time's ticking in front of them and they see that, oh my gosh, I need to click the button and, there's 5 minutes left and I got to buy it now, right? Other tactics would be, if you don't buy by the end of the month, we're going to remove these bonuses from the offer. Like you have something to lose in the situation. That's another tactic of urgency.
You also see it in like infomercials, right? Where they actually load up the offer. If you buy now, we're going to give you 7 of the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know who the hell needs 7 pot scrubbers or whatever, but like way over the top of the same thing, but it's only if you call right now. Not that the commercial is going to be the same exact thing in 4 hours,
Exactly.
But if you call before the end of the commercial.
It was so funny. My mom called my sister for Christmas. She's like, oh my gosh, we need the skewer thing from Ninja Fryer or whatever it was, but you have to buy it right now.
Come on, dude, I get it.
To get the price. And my sister called me and couldn't even, she was laughing so hard. The price goes up tomorrow. I was like, oh my gosh, that's who it works. It worked.
Exactly, it right? So, and that brings up a better point or like a point that needs to be discussed is all of these tactics have an expiration as far as the usefulness, how long the marketplace is going to work on the marketplace, right? Some of it comes and goes. Sometimes styles of marketing come and go, but tactics you can't be stuck on the tactic. And that's why we want to have this conversation. Tactics are interchangeable within a strategy.
There it is.
Right? Yes. You can have multiple tactics within the same strategy. You need to understand the strategy that you're playing with and the tools that you have available to play with to keep that strategy in play. Within the same column strategy.
And this is so perfect to maybe speak to the 6-week challenge that came and went and your market got burned because that tactic disappeared from, the saying goes is a known tactic is a blown tactic.
There you go, right? So the marketplace became aware of the tactic, the 6-week challenge, the bait and switch type offer. That tactic no longer held weight in the marketplace. However, you change the offer, change the tactic, you create a evergreen style or a different style
of 6-week
challenge where it's not necessarily the bait and switch. Now, different tactic, same strategy could be instantly effective in the marketplace.
Correct.
Why? different tactic. It's not the same offering. The marketplace sees it differently. However, it's still the same umbrella strategy.
Yes. Great point. Yeah. So we just want to pound that home. Another strategy would be scarcity. I kind of said it before, but urgency was the first one. Scarcity is the strategy overall that helps push people into a buying position. Scarcity would be like only 5 left.
Here,
right?
We'll use ourselves, for example, the growth summit and the ticket pricing, right?
Yes.
We showed you scarcity. We showed you exactly how many tickets were available at exactly this price. And when that went away, the price went up. Scarcity.
And urgency,
as a matter of fact.
Yep.
And then, but it's true scarcity, right? If you aren't within that 25 lot and you're number 26, you're going to pay a higher price.
Yes.
Scarcity.
Yes. And it worked like gangbusters for us. We had a flood of people come in right at the early price point, the early bird, and the second tier. And then things started slowing down because, the price is higher,
sure.
But we're sold out.
Colder traffic.
We are sold out now at all tiers. And we showed it to everybody. If you're listening, you saw it on the order form. And one thing I will tell you guys is you can't use fake urgency and have any credibility in the market. Like when it's out, it's out. Don't be like, you refresh the page and then all of a sudden the timer resets.
Because your marketplace becomes aware of it, right?
Known tactic is a blown tactic.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's the same thing we were laughing about, the commercial.
Yep.
Why am I not prompt to call within the next 25 seconds?
Yeah.
Because I know that for the next, week, every time I flip the TV on this channel, I'm going to have that same opportunity. That's a blown tactic. Doesn't carry weight.
Correct. Okay. All right. So let's move into another strategy. Another strategy would be social proof. You know that you need to have social proof shown in your marketing. The tactics change. So let's discuss a couple tactics. So this was all the rage for a while. The proof pop up at the bottom of the screen. X amount of people are on this page, or
table rush.
Yeah, Jessica in Omaha, Nebraska bought a yellow dress.
Yep.
You see that on e-commerce. It does still work. It's a tactic though. And I'm not going to say like that's a blown tactic. I still think that process still works. Yeah. But the fact that social proof is the strategy, the tactic was the little pop-up that showed the social proof. Going into the fitness space, we have social proof using testimonials, and before and afters would be another way to show social proof.
And social proof for you guys is an example of other people who've seen success or have made the decision your prospect is about to make, right? So somebody's purchased this before me. Somebody's joined the fitness program and has seen results. Therefore, me as a buyer, it's creating comfort for me to make the decision to buy. Social proof is huge. So,
and that's the reason to use that strategy.
Exactly.
Is because of what you just said. Now, there's other ways, other tactics that people use social proof, especially in the fitness space or really any business. You've seen the snippet of the 5-star review from Google that rotates, or it's a static image, or a comment from a Facebook post that they screenshot and put it into the funnel, into the website. Again, social proof is the strategy on that, and tactic is the snippet of the copy and this, what they said.
Yeah. And something that was brought to our attention recently is keep those things in formats that are familiar to the user. So if you go to Google, if you see, if you type a business into Google and it pops up their reviews on the right side, if you're going to use your reviews, screenshot that. Use that on your funnel, or use a plugin that's going to do, scrolling Google reviews in a manner that looks like a Google review.
Yes. That
creates that familiarity with the prospect. And so they instantly know what they're looking at without having to digest something new.
Yep. Let's go back to a strategy that came and went. Everybody remembers the hand-drawn doodle videos that were all the rage, let's call it 5 years ago. And those became that was the tactic. The strategy was like, that's a VSL.
A VSL or explainer video, sure.
That's a video sales letter, right? Mm-hmm. You can do those, but I think the market has become known to that. They understand what that is, and they almost watch those in the back of their mind. They're like, this is a sales pitch, right? So that was a tactic. The strategy was the video sales letter, which is still used today. You know, most videos that you see in funnels are essentially video sales letters. The tactic in this particular case was that doodle video that's kind of come and gone.
Yeah, we were just talking about the one that is real common right now, right? There's a marketing company or an agency out there called the Harmon Brothers. They create a specific style. They're very, very good at what they do. And they create a very specific style of commercial, of video. You guys have seen like Poopery, Squatty Potty, Purple Mattress, even ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels paid them or did a partnership, and Harmon Brothers did their funnel video. That their take on how to create and put together those commercials is a tactic.
Yes.
That tactic is going to come and go over time. It's inevitable. The marketplace will adapt to that level of humor being the way commercials are being presented, and it will no longer have the same appeal, right? We just become numb to things.
Did they also do the Dollar Shave Club one?
Yeah, I think they did actually. Yes, I believe they did. And that was with the lion and the explosions and all that stuff way back when we was walking through the office. That was a different one. No, this is the one. It was a Dollar Beard and the Dollar Shave. I think they did both actually.
The Dollar Shave Club catapulted that business to $1 billion sales price. That's where the guy was real plain Jane, matter of fact, just walking through his warehouse. Yeah. And he's like, we put people to work. What were you doing last week, Armando? I wasn't working. What are you doing now? Working. And then he just comes off screen. So it's funny, but that's, again, it is a tactic.
It's a tactic. Now, when that stops working, you don't throw away all commercials or VSL, video sales letters, or I guess it's essentially just commercials. You don't throw that whole style of marketing away. The strategy remains. The tactic and how we present that information will change.
Correct. Let's do one more. You want to do one more?
Yeah.
Risk removal. Okay. Risk removal is a strategy to have in place for marketing. You can use it at the sales table too. Like a 30-day guarantee. You see this, if you're not satisfied in, after, or like a 90 night mattress guarantee, a 90 or 100 night mattress guarantee. If you're not happy in 100 nights, send it back and we'll give you a full refund. Risk removal, right? That's a strategy. The tactics change. So here's a couple different risk removals. Is at the gym level, we use risk removal all the time in our trials. In fact, we have 3 different ways that we do a trial. The risk removal is they're not committing to the year yet. They're just testing the water. So tactic 1 is a paid trial, 14 days, $89. You get 4 sessions of semi-private training over 2 weeks, and you get unlimited team training. That's tactic 1.
Yep.
Paid, no commitment. So we have to sell you up front. We have to sell you at the end. That's tactic 1 for the same trial. So number 2, the Netflix trial. That's where they come in, they commit on day 1 to continue on day 15. They don't get charged anything in that 14-day period, and they have 2 weeks to change their mind. If they decide to stay, it automatically activates.
In those situations, they both get the same deliverable, right?
Same deliverable.
So both those clients are still getting 2 sessions of the semi-private each week and unlimited access to team.
Correct.
All we've changed is the
tactic. Third way, we do the same exact trial. And again, this falls under the strategy of risk removal, is you sign up today for an annual membership and you have 2 weeks to change your mind. So 2-week guarantee, that's the play that's the tactic we're using now. That's working great. All 3 have their place, and you can mix and match the tactics in the market. If people start to get used to these things, you can switch it to another version. But I just gave you 3 completely different tactics for the same overall strategy, which is risk removal to try your services.
And you better have at least one of them in your business.
Yes. Those of you that don't have a trial, you're not hitting the risk removal strategy at all. I mean, unless you have some type of 30-day guarantee or something like that.
Or month-to-month only option or something. But
a month-to-month is a risk removal.
That's a good point.
Tactic. It is. So do you guys understand what we're saying now about strategies versus tactics? I think that risk removal one really hit it home.
That was a good one.
Because it's the same risk removal trial and 3 different ways to do it, 3 different tactics. But the problem that I see, and you notice it as much as I do, is gym owners are so focused on the tactic and not the global strategy.
Exactly.
In their marketing and in their sales process. But now that you've heard this episode and you understand what you're even doing, now you can be a smarter marketer and understand, like, okay, the strategy is risk removal. We're going to try tactic 1 this month and see how that goes. Great. That worked great. Let's continue it. Oh, it starts to work. Switch the tactic around. You can do the same risk removal in a different way. And boom, now you're back to the races again. That way you never get stuck.
And I would spend a little bit of time in understanding, studying, educating yourself on the strategies that are available to you on top of the tactics. Because again, back to our conversations with gym owners all of the time, we talk about what are your options with marketing, and they're going to give me 3 different funnels. Well, no, guys, that's 3 different tactics within the same strategy. Instead of looking for the next funnel, understand why sales funnels as a whole, like that process of acquiring a client. How do you make that process work in your business? Not just what is the lipstick on this shiny funnel that's going to work for a week, right? You're always chasing something that's got a very, very limited use instead of understanding what's happening globally with that process and being able to kind of always be ahead of the coming and the going of the tactic that's working. Because if you're not the first to use those tactics, you're behind the 8 ball. It's got that deadline. It's going to expire. When you understand the strategies, you're already forecasting for what's next. That's where you guys get power.
Yep.
Right now, everyone's chasing. Stop chasing. Start understanding and creating what it's doing for your business.
I got another example since we're hot on it. Another strategy in fitness is these LBO, or what we call bracketed programs. The strategy for that global strategy is, hey, this is a risk removal. There's urgency built into it. There's scarcity because there's only X amount of spots available. The urgency is it starts on this date. I need to get in by then. Timers, all that tactics go into the urgency. The tactic then changes when you change the name of the program from Spring Shred to Summer Slim Down to Memorial Melt to Holiday Hold'em to January Transformation. Those are all different tactics within the same friggin' strategy.
We literally had our entire agency was our strategy based agency.
Yep.
We weren't recreating the wheel every time we went to go do something marketing, and we're still not. And that's the thing. Everybody's chasing the tactic, and you're chasing the wrong target. Start looking at the strategies that are working in the marketplace and just understand how to utilize that strategy. What you have available for tactics is going to be endless. Mm-hmm. You could do, the sales funnel for a million different things. It could be the time of year. It could be holiday based. It could be proprietary to your business. All of that stuff's the same thing. You're selling a LBO bracketed trial.
Yep.
The lipstick and the color of the page and the logo you put on it, none of that stuff actually matters when you understand. I mean, it matters, but it doesn't have the same importance as the strategy and how that's effectively creating new business for you.
Exactly. And then within any given strategy and within any given tactic, there's 15 different elements within that. We're not going to get into that. The hot buttons that you would do and say and things that happen within the process that continue to move that person closer to a purchase. Maybe another show for another day.
Yeah, that's deeper. But
we were in our mastermind that we run, and just kind of talking about all this stuff and getting deep in the weeds. And so I was wanting to share this with everybody today.
Yeah, these are the conversations, like Tim mentioned. Like, this is the mastermind level stuff. This isn't stuff that we teach for. We don't do courses on marketing. We don't do courses on ad creation. We never got into, that type of stuff because it's more top level. Like, understanding marketing as a whole is what we do. That's what we study, what we're out there learning. And then we turn around with our Iron Circle and we educate on all of the different areas that we have available.
Exactly. So There you have it, guys. Hopefully you understand a little bit more about strategies, tactics, and understand what you should really learn and get used to. And probably now that you understand it, you're going to start seeing it more. And again, the one thing to underscore in this whole thing is a known tactic is a blown tactic. The strategy doesn't change. So make sure you're in front of the curve, front of the line, leading the charge with the first to market style of tactics, but make sure that they're embedded into some solid strategy so that you can just use so you can win.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, great episode. Until next time, keep changing lives. See you. Bye.